questions for Coach Cook?
Yeah, John, can you talk about what happened? I guess what happened on Thursday that led to the postponement of last weekend's matches, and what were the discussions like between you and the Big Ten that led to that decision?
Well, those discussions are between the trainers and the doctors, and when what happened was Michigan State had an outbreak, and they had played Wisconsin, so Wisconsin was under the alert of they were testing every day, PCR testing every day to see if they would have, because they played on Sunday, I believe. So sure enough, on day 5, Wisconsin had a couple positives, and that was it.
Was there any discussion to find a different opponent, or was it just Wisconsin, not playing Wisconsin, that's it for the weekend?
Yeah, there was discussion, Minnesota, Nebraska, Illinois, and Maryland ended up canceling. I can't remember who else was in that, but long story short, there was discussion, but nothing could be worked out.
Kevin Suits?
It was pretty late notice for anything to change, and we were looking at trying to get a charter. So there was a lot going on, but it's such late notice, it's really hard.
John, what was the level of disappointment, shock, and all the other emotions involved in last week? And I'm sure you're aware your fan base was very just stunned to see that that postponement came in kind of late in the week.
Yeah, it was. I think the team was pretty disappointed. You get all ramped up, and then you don't get the plays. So, but I think they're also used to it, and it didn't surprise them. So we kind of knew. I kind of knew more Wednesday night what was going on, but we didn't tell them until we knew for sure on Thursday. So it's just this is the life of COVID, and it was over half the Big Ten didn't play. So you just got to deal with it. We tried to make the best of it over the weekend and try to get back in routine this week.
Brent Wagner.
Yeah, if your opponent couldn't play and somebody else's opponent weren't going to be able to play, and you were going to agree to reschedule or schedule a new match, how early in the week would you have to know to feel comfortable saying, we feel good about still playing a different team this weekend?
Well, we would be fine with that preparation wise or anything like that. It's just logistics of getting somebody of playing because we had to we had a plane scheduled, but we had to cancel it, and then you're trying to find another plane. So if somebody has to travel, that's one issue. So I think it's a lot easier for the schools that can bus, Purdue, Indiana, Illinois, Northwestern, those guys, it's Ohio State, Michigan's. Those guys can just get on a bus and go. That's a lot easier than trying to get a charter and get 28 people somewhere in a hotel. So I think us and Rutgers and Penn State, maybe Minnesota to a degree, that are on the fringes of the Big Ten geographic map, it's a little harder to put together a trip than if you can just jump on a bus and go. I mean, if we they said, hey, you can play Creighton tomorrow, yeah, no problem. We can buzz up there and play Creighton. So it's just, that's the logistic part of it.
Is it easy to get officials? Is moving officials around a challenge?
I don't know. Our Marcia Alterman, our head of our officials group, has said she will do everything last minute to get officials there. So don't let that be a deterrent to trying to reschedule or switch matches around.
Andrew Ward.
Hey, John, are you worried that kind of killed some of the momentum you had after you played so well in that Minnesota match a couple Sundays ago?
Yeah, a little bit. And I was looking at Illinois. They've only played one match in 3 weeks as well, I think. Or let's see. They had a cancellation, so I think they played, canceled, and then we played, canceled. Now we're playing. So they've had a kind of a delay in their deal too. So Yeah, I am a little worried, and we'll have to see. But I think they'll be fired up to play just because they're tired of practice, I think.
Lincoln Arneal.
You got about a month left or so of the regular season. I know you previously said you're against midweek matches. With having a couple cancellations and time being precious, are you still against playing a match or two after seeing what Ohio State and Penn State have been able to do?
No, we're not opposed to it. It's just, the factors that go into it is school. That's one. Two, getting there. Three, playing 4 matches or 3 matches in a week with travel could be really hard on our student athletes. So you got to factor in that. And then the other thing is the logistics of getting the facilities, because a lot of these facilities are shared by wrestling, gymnastics. Now they're winding down. I think they're getting close to winding down, and basketball potentially could be an impact as well. So, but our men's basketball team's been on a grind, and so there just has to be a lot of thought that goes into it. But it's something I think everybody's open to. Yeah.
Is it a priority to try to get a match against Wisconsin in the time you have left this season?
I think with the Big Ten, probably yes. Who knows when Wisconsin's coming back? They're probably shut down for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So that leaves us, we're week 5 right now. That leaves us with 2 weeks. I don't know what their schedule is or if they're traveling, but I'm not going to take our team and be on the road for an entire week. I can tell you that. Because I just school and that's something that can be tough on our team.
Did you scrimmage on Friday or Saturday when your matches got postponed?
Yeah, well, we just trained. We didn't do an official scrimmage or anything.
In terms of the whole season, how does it hurt you the most when you don't have matches for a week?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if it does hurt us or not. I think when you get in the season, you're in a grind, and you're. I don't want to say you're on the edge, but you're ramped up. You're grinding. You're in a great routine. We just had to deal with taking basically 3 days off mentally. It's more the mental part than the physical part, because we're always trying to keep our athletes fresh and all that, but it's the mental letdown. You're on edge, you're going, you're grinding, you're in the zone, and then all of a sudden, they're bored out of their minds. I was bored this weekend, and so that's the mental part is the hard part, I think.
Any more questions for Coach?
What's practice been like? I mean, you said mentally it's a grind. What has the extended stretch of practice been like in the gym, and how have they responded to going a couple weeks without a match?
Yeah, we try to do some fun things, different things, just to keep their interest. So that's number one. Number two, I think they've handled it really well. I mean, this group loves to train. They love coming to practice. At least I never think that they don't want to be there. I can give you years and dates that are imprinted in my brain of team days of practice and times when they didn't want to be there. But this group seems to really, really enjoy it. And I think it's how we run our practices and how we structure it. And they're learning, they're getting better, they're having fun, they're getting challenged. So. And it's a good escape from everything, because you got to remember now, I mean, pretty much their day is hanging out in their apartment, online classes. It's not like they're going to class or going to Starbucks or scooters or, they're out and about. They're still pretty isolated. So I think they look forward. This is like an escape to come here and get away from everything and get something accomplished, with other people.
And then speaking of this upcoming week, what sort of challenges does Illinois present to you?
Well, they have been running a 6-2. They got some big physical hitters. They lead the conference in aces per game, so they're always very good serving team. And So there's a start right there. So we're going to have to be able to handle their serves, and they've got some big arms that we're going to have to deal with. So, and we're going there. So, typical Big Ten weekend, and got to go in there and be ready to compete.
Take one more from Brent Wagner.
Yeah, you got some older players, obviously, with Lauren this year, and then you have some younger players. Just overall, how do you feel about the culture of the program right now?
I mean, I'm not sure what you're asking. And like I said, they like being here. They've been great. They work hard. You know, they seem like they like each other, and I think just the only thing that's a damper is, you know, getting matches canceled, because I think they really want to play. You know, and they were asking me, hey, can we go play somebody else? I said, well, we're looking at it. I mean, that was the first thing I said. Can we go play somebody else? So I think they just want to play and compete, and but I think the culture of our program is awesome.
All right. Thank you, everybody. That's all for Coach Cook.
Okay, thanks.